All right, peace and blessings, everybody. This is Quentin Stroud, the Million Dollar Man, coming to you. I wanted to share something with you. So I've been doing videos every single day, and I missed yesterday, but I wanted to get back into the mix of things. What I want you to do is go ahead and click on subscribe below. That way you can subscribe to my channel, and what happens is you'll get a notification every time I do a new video. But I wanted to share this with you because this is a really important conversation that I want to have. I want to talk about the power of why. The power of why, and why you got to start to understand that the way we have been doing things, the way we've been doing relationships, the way we've been doing business, the way we've been doing things has been kind of a counterintuitive to how we make decisions and how we move in and through life. Most entrepreneurs deal with what I do, what I'm good at, what I do, what my skill sets are, things of that nature. Then they talk about how they do it, what technology they use, or what systems or resources they have. They talk about these, like how they make all this stuff happen. But few actually deal with why. Right? And so I want to talk to you about the power of why and why is so important. Now, one thing you start to understand is that when people make decisions about connecting with you, joining your business, when they make decisions about buying from you, the reason why marketing says that you have to do a number of these touches, you got to do 7, 8 touches, is because we're dealing with the what's and the hows of how we do things, as opposed to the why. If we went back to the heart of the matter, if we went back to what our beliefs are and what our values are and what our principles are as a professional, as an entrepreneur, as a business, right? As a human being, if we really focused on our principles and our values, you'll actually start to get a better and a stronger connection to how people connect with you. Now, you got to start to realize this, that people don't buy into what you do, okay? People buy into why you do what you do. Does that make sense? People don't buy into what you do. They don't buy into that. They buy into why you do what you do. And if you focused on that, you'll start to realize that our goal is not to find people that want what we need, or want what we have. Our goal is to find people who believe in what we believe in. And when you find people like that, when you find people who believe in what you believe in, you find a higher sense of loyalty, of commitment, of work ethic even. This is interesting because when you look at the brain, actually the human brain on the inside is the limbic brain. It's the brain that deals with feelings, trust, loyalty. Comes from the inner brain. The outer brain, the neocortex, deals with reason, facts, logic. You understand? And so if you really start to understand why we do what we do, we're actually tapping into that inner brain. We're tapping into that trust factor, that loyalty factor, that drive. Okay? And so all human behavior and all decisions start in the limbic brain. It starts in that inner brain, and then we rationalize it, we validate it, we support it, if you will, with that outer brain, with the facts and figures and logic. If your business, as an entrepreneur, if you turned within and you really discovered your why am I doing this? Why is this the business that I'm doing? Why did I decide to open up a alterations shop or a dry cleaners or whatever the case may be? Why did I just start to become a coach or a trainer? Right? If you really focus on the why, you're actually touching this biological, psychological, and even spiritual place in people. And this is why they commit. Let me tell you this. When we lead with the why, we're really, in essence, flowing from the inner to the outer. We're touching their inner core and we're giving them the supporting facts, the how we do business, the how we transact, how we make decisions, how we make money, and what we focus on. When we shift that, we start to decide why we're doing this business. We look into why we're doing it. you see, why we offer what we offer, why we decide to buy or to join or to hire someone, right? Why the money is going to be so impactful for this company and the people that it serves. Okay? You got to start to realize is that being rich and famous, having money and moolah and stuff like that, really all that has to do with is that's the result of the action. That's the result of what you're doing. The rich and the fame, that's a result of it. But your beliefs, your passions, the nature of your impact that you're going to make on the world, the cause, that's the impetus, that's the why, that's the drive. And it's so important to attract people that believe in what you believe in. The reason why this is so important is what happens is this. Have you ever heard somebody say, I get what you're saying and I really get the concept, but something just don't feel right? Have you heard people say this before? And it's because that inner brain doesn't deal with language. That inner brain that makes all the decisions, that inner brain that deals with feelings and trust and things of that nature, that inner brain is what really informs the decision. It's what makes the decision. We just then start to use that outer brain to justify it. So what's interesting about it is when a person says, I get what you're saying. It makes perfect sense, Q. I really get it. But something just don't feel right. Right? The reason why they say it that way is because they can't articulate what it is they're feeling. They're really just saying that this is the decision I made. This is where I am. Right? And so it's so important to attract people that believe what you believe, because those are the people that's going to take your idea and run with it. Those are the people that's going to make it have mass appeal. Those are the people who are going to make it expand exponentially. Let me show it to you. So catch this. There's a concept called the law of diffusion of innovation. The law of diffusion of innovation. And it basically says that there's this curve that we subscribe to. And so the first 2.5% of that curve really are the innovators. They're the idea people. They got it. I get the idea, right? The next 13.5% are what's called the early adopters. So the people who, the 2.5 get the idea, the early adopters, the 13.5% actually jump on it really, really quickly. Okay, they got it. They jump on it really, really quickly. Then was something called the early majority. That's about 34%. The early majority at the top of the curve is about 34%. And then there's the late majority, which is the other 34%. And then the last 16% on this other end of the curve, the last 16% are the late adopters or the laggers. Okay. And so what happens is this: you want to go after that first 15 to 18% of people who are early adopters, who are innovators, who get what you get, who believe what you believe, who are on point. And you want to focus on who are you? What do you believe? This is why we do what we do. When you want to connect with those early adopters and those innovators, you really want to make sure that you focus on the why. The reason why this is so important is because the early majority, that first 34% of people, when you start to get into mass market appeal, that first 34% of people, the early majority will only try something after they know somebody else who's tried it. Oh, you like that? Oh, you think it's a good idea? They'll say, I'll do it. But, I just want to make sure, they'll say stuff like that. So the early majority will only try something after they see other people succeeding at it. Then the late majority will just start to fall in because everybody else is doing it, that kind of thing. And then the laggers they'll get it when they get it. I guess I'll try it now, right? These are some people who are still not on Facebook. Right? So people who are still not using social media, not using Instagram, not using different platforms like that. So the laggers are that last 16%. What you want to do as an enlightened entrepreneur, what you want to do is you want to lead with your why. You want to talk to them about why you do what you do, because this is going to help the early majority and those innovators get on board, get connected, get committed, start seeing success. And then you move it a little bit, that tipping point, moving over into mass appeal, where that first 34% will start to jump on board very, very quickly. This is how growth happens. This is how change happens. This is how all that comes about. So the secret is really reaching those early adopters, right? Those entrepreneurs, those tend to be the creatives. Tend to be the people who invent, and the believers. They just say, well, I'm gonna trust this. I'm gonna have faith that this works. I'm gonna just trust it, and I'm gonna give it a try. They're also the ones that are willing to take the risk. This is good. They're also the ones that are willing to take the risk because they did it because they believed in it at the time. They did it because they thought it was a good idea. They did it because they thought it was something that they wanted to check it out or try it out and see what happens. They're the adventurers. This is so good, guys. Listen, when you decide to become a professional, when you decide to become an enlightened entrepreneur, when you decide that you want to expand and move into something, you got to start to flip the script. Stop leading with what you do and what you got and what you can do for people and whatever. Start leading with the why you do what you do. Why you want to help people, why you want to make an impact, why you want to make a change. Leadership, true leadership is inspirational, it's motivational, it's cause oriented. You get this? True leadership is not, I have the best plan, I have the best compensation plan, I have the best product, we have the best blah, blah, blah. That's not true leadership. That's masses. That's the herd, Herd. You want to be heard, Heard, so that people hear your heart. Guys, this is why I do what I do, right? I do it because I want to share with you how to make a meaningful and lasting impact in the world. Have you ever heard the saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care? This is why I'm sharing this with you. All right, guys, listen, click on the link below, decide to get connected, decide that you want to be connected with someone who really has your best interests at heart, who wants you to expand, who wants you to grow, who wants you to be better. This is what's so important. Guys, I love you. There ain't nothing you can do about it, okay? So click on the link below, let's get connected, and I'm sure that we'll have a great time in the future. All right, guys, love you. Take care. Peace.